Good morning. Today is Monday, July 7th, 2025. It's 10 a.m. and I call this meeting of the Platte County Commission to order. Commissioner Burbrick, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on our agenda is the approval of the agenda.
I move approval of the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fricker?
Yes.
Commissioner Burbrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderburg?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda is the consent calendar.
I move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fricker?
Yes.
Commissioner Burbrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderburg?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda, business action items. And the first four will be presented by Platte County Sheriff Eric Holland. Oh, I'm sorry, Captain Gates. First item is 2025 RES 050.
Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution relates to a 5-year renewal of the Regional Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan. This plan was initially adopted in 2020 by this commission. It serves as a planning tool in working with FEMA and SEMA as we plan for and recover from natural disasters. It help us as a county and the cities within the county receive grant funding from both groups. So recommend approval of this renewal.
I move approval of 2025-RES-050, the Regional Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fricker?
Yes.
Commissioner Burbrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderburg?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Next is 2025 CO095.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeffrey Shanks for the Sheriff's Office. On County Commission Order 2025 CO095, we're asking the Commission to approve an order for the agreement to the Platte County Missouri Sheriff's Office and the Platte County and the Platte County R3 School District for the purpose of providing school resource officers in the R3 School District. This is one of the remaining districts that does not currently have sheriff's deputies as school resource officers in there, and they've asked us to come forward and provide school resource officers to help assist in providing security in the schools. The overall budget impact is $139,210 plus benefit and equipment costs. The school district is going to be paying 80% of the officer's salary for 2 deputies along with their benefits. In addition, they'll be providing 50% towards total equipment costs needed to equip those deputies. The funds are contained in the current budget, and we will also be, because their school year goes from July 1 to June 30, we will be putting into our 2026 proposed budget the remaining funds that are necessary to cover our percentage of that. This has been reviewed by the county counselor as to form, and has been also reviewed by the auditor to make sure the funds are available.
I move to approve 2025-CO-095 for an MOU between the county and Platte County School District.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fricker?
Yes.
Commissioner Burbrick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderburg?
Yes.
The motion carries 3-0. Next is 2025 CO097. Good morning.
Next, again, for the Sheriff's Office, on County Commission Order 2025 CO097. We had this confidential document because the security is involved. We're asking approval of a contract between Platte County, Missouri and SHI and their subcontractors for providing information, technology, security products and services. This again to help maintain the security of our networks and everything that's necessary. As you know, there's quite a bit of activity with all the intellectual properties and things like that happen. The budget impact for this contract is $66,505.62. It was included in the 2025 budget. This agreement has been reviewed by the county counselor and approved by the auditor. Funds are available.
I move approval of 2025-CO-097, a contract between SHI and its subcontractors with the county for information technology, security products and services.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frycker?
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
And motion carries 3-0. Next on the agenda, 2025-CO-099.
Good morning, Captain Daniel Gates again. County Commission Order 25CO99 is a request for the county to enter into a contract with Unmanned Vehicle Technologies to purchase 3 drones. They are going to be unmanned aircraft vehicles with FLIR capabilities and the accessories that go with them. This is a contract we enter into through the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing, contract number 011223. The budget impact is $26,956.84, and this is already built within the 2025 sheriff's budget. Request approval.
I move to approve 2025-CO-099 for a contract with Sourcewell for UVT and accessories.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frycker?
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
And motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda, 2025-CO-100 to be presented by County Administrator Wes Minder. Morning, Wes.
Morning, Commissioners. Wes Minder. Before you, just a little background. Earlier this year, the county received approximately $4.2 million in federal funds to complete the Route 152 trail within Platte County. This would extend the trail from Amity near Weatherby Lake over down into McHenry Park at Hampton Road. Previously, in my previous employment, I had completed the plans for the section between Childress and Amity. I will complete the plans to get to Hampton. However, I cannot design trail bridges. And so the purpose of this contract is to retain Vinster and Kim, which is a local company north of the river, to design the trail bridge. Vinster and Kim had previously done quite a few bridges for myself, supplementing my design abilities on the Line Creek Trail and the Shoal Creek Trail. And so this contract will allow them to complete the bridge, do the floodplain modeling, do the no-rise certificates, and all the other required fun things that we get to do for federally funded trail projects. And those plans will be included in the plans that I complete. And depending on timeline with the whole federal process, we're looking at probably 2028 for this project being complete.
I move approval of 2025-CO-100, a contract for professional services with Veenstra and Kim.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Can you just briefly explain how we can contract with this firm without going out through the standard procurement process?
We utilize, since it's a federally funded project, we use the MoDOT on-call list and sent out requests for qualifications from 3 firms. And those 3 firms responded with qualification statements, and staff selected Vinster and Kim based on previous experience.
Very good. Any further comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frycker?
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
And motion carries 3-0. Next is 2025-CO-101.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is an update to our senior tax credit. When we originally passed the senior tax credit, we've learned a few things. The only 2 things that change in this commission order here are we clarify that the eligible property or the homestead definition in section 2E includes the county parcel identification number that the homestead is located on. Sometimes there are, properties that have multiple, or owners that have multiple different parcel ID numbers. So this just clarifies it administratively so that we can effectively administer the program through the assessor and collector's office. And then also one of the items that we made a modification to is that the all seniors are eligible. Previously, there was a version of the state law that said if you were not current on your taxes, you would not be eligible. But in the final passage of 756, that was stricken. And so to make our commission order compliant with state law, we removed that requirement within our order.
I move to approve 2025-CO-101 to modify our Senate Bill 190 and 756 property tax relief.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Wes.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, 2025 CO098 to be presented by Platte County Clerk Jara Pruitt. Morning, Jara.
Good morning. You have before you 2025 CO098. This is an amendment to a contract you all approved at our last session. This contract is for printing and mailing services, which will be used to send out information related to the SB 190 program. We're increasing the maximum contractual amount to $9,000 to allow for the likelihood that we may need an additional mailing, or, there may be supplemental information. So just trying to get ahead of it and be prepared in the event that we need this. We're doing this amendment now to just be prepared to be able to issue whatever we have in the future. So with that, I would request your approval. Also, the county commissioner did approve the contract to form, and the funds are available. The auditor has certified that. So again, with that, I would ask for your approval, please.
I move approval of 2025-CO-098 and order amending our lineage contract related to the senior tax credit letters.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Jara. Next is 2025 RES 051 to be presented by Parks and Recreations Director Daniel Erickson. Good morning, Daniel.
Morning, Commissioners. Daniel Erickson on behalf of the Parks Department. This Resolution 51 is a request for bids for bulkhead repair at the competition pool there at the Community Center North there in Platte City. We are seeking qualified bids. The bid due date is July 23rd at 10 a.m. in the county clerk's office. Staff respectfully recommends you approve this request for bids.
I move to approve 2025-RES-051, request for bids for bulkhead repairs.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Next is 2025 CO091 to be presented by Daniel once again, representing Planning and Zoning.
Planning and zoning, the next item, planning and zoning items. Commissioner Orders 91 is a request to rezone submitted by Dan McDougall. This is a property located off the Inn Highway near 152. They are seeking to reorganize their property to get their home separated from a business they have also on the property. So in order to do that, they're replatting and moving their lines. So it did require them to rezone 23 acres from ag to RE rural estates. It came before the planning commission, and they unanimously recommended to the county commission this modification be approved. Staff had recommended approval to the planning commission.
I move approval of 2025-CO-091 rezoning from AG to RE for Dan McDougall.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Next is 2025 CO092.
Commissioners, this is a request to rezone property from agricultural to RE rural estates. They are seeking to rezone 18 acres and basically add it to an existing 5-acre tract to replat property. There's no new subdivision technically involved with this rezoning. It's just expanding the property boundaries. This was unanimously recommended by the planning commission and staff.
I move to approve 2025-CO-092 for rezoning of Peter and Terry May Trust.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanacker?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Next is 2025 CO093.
Commissioners, this is a request to rezone from ag to RE rural estates. This is a request submitted by Wesley and Christine Johnson, seeking to rezone approximately 70 acres off of Rural Lane. Rural Lane is a dead-end road that extends north from Highway 92, halfway between Platte City and Smithville. They're seeking to rezone the 70 acres in order to create 3 lots, one of 8, 32, and 24. The 8 acre would contain existing dwelling, the 32 and 24 acre tracts would be eligible for new homes. This came before the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission voted 7-1 to recommend approval to the County Commission. Staff recommended approval to the Planning Commission. The proposal does conform to the county's adopted land use plan.
I move approval of 2025-CO-093 rezoning from AG to RE for Wesley and Christine Johnson.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frycker?
Yes.
Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Commissioner Vayner?
Yes.
The motion carries 3-0. Next is 2025-CO-094.
Commissioner, my final item is a request to rezone 24 acres from ag to RE and R80, so two different zoning types. The intent of the rezoning is to allow this 24 acre property to be subdivided into two lots. One is approximately 3.5 acres that contain a house, and the remainder, approximately 20 acres, which would be eligible for a new dwelling. The property is located off of Little Platte Road, or northeast Platte County. The proposal does conform to the land use plan. The lot that's less than 10 acres, it has an existing house, so that is an exemption to our land use plan 10 acre policy. Came before the Planning Commission. They voted to recommend approval by a vote of 6-2. Staff recommended approval to the Planning Commission.
I move to approve 2025-CO-094 for rezoning Sherman and Linda Hill.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frycker?
Yes.
Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Commissioner Vayner?
Yes.
And motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Daniel. Next on the agenda, 2025-CO-096 to be presented by Public Works Director Bob Hine. Morning, Bob.
Morning, Commissioners. Bob Hine, Public Works. Commissioners, this is a change order relating to our 2025 overlay project. It is change order 1 for the asphalt side of the bid with Tandem Paving Company. We actually had an underrun on asphalt, an overrun on milling, and then on North American Avenue, we encountered a section of roadway roughly 200 feet long by the width of the road that the subbase gave way. It failed while they were running the millings in and out and then backing the loaded trucks in while they were paving. We do take into account when we put our budget together that we might have some contingency items like this. So not a total surprise. Some years we get by without having to dip into that contingency, but this year we ended up with roughly a total of $20,589.95, combining those overruns and underruns. The county councilor has reviewed the change order and approved it as well. The county auditor has certified the funds are available. And with that, our staff would recommend that we approve this change order.
I move approval of 2025-CO-096, change order number 1 for the 2025 road resurfacing asphalt portion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frycker?
Yes.
Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Commissioner Vayner?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Bob. Next on the agenda, announcements from county office holders and staff. Seeing none, are there any public comments? Any comments from the commission?
None.
Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frycker?
Yes.
Commissioner Berger?
Yes.
Commissioner Vayner?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. It is 10:20 a.m. and we are adjourned. And we do have an ARPA session.